A small business is an amazing way to serve and leave an impact on the world you live in. Nicole Snow. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Become Your Own Boss Planner. I created this planner for myself over 5 years ago, and I am so excited to now be able to say it's available for purchase on Amazon. You can find more information about the planner and how it can help you achieve your goals from the link in the show notes. Do you remember when you were in maybe late elementary or middle school? Some people call it grammar school, and you learned about the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why. And we can't forget about the H, how. We asked these questions when it came to writing and better understanding a reading assignment, or at least our teachers would ask us these questions so we can gain better understanding around those things. But I strongly believe that these are the same basic questions you need to ask yourself or need to answer when it comes to starting a business. Welcome to part 2 of the Kickstart Your Business series. First, what? Clearly define what you're offering. Are you offering a product or service? Additionally, you want to explain the specific problem that your product or service aims to solve. So, what problem are you solving? Because truly every business solves a problem. Now, it may not be a problem that you have or even that I have, but in order for a business to be successful, it must be a problem that enough people have. When we initially started StuffForGreeks.com, the problem was Greek paraphernalia was not very exciting. It was low quality, and many times the line jackets just really didn't look that great. And so we set out to solve that problem, and we wanted to create very elaborate jackets that told a story, and that's where we started. So that was our what. Second is who. You need to identify your ideal customer. Who are you selling to? You need to describe their characteristics, their needs, their pain points. They are your target market, and those are the people you're going to want to go after. For us in Stuff for Greeks, and I'm using Stuff for Greeks as an example because that's the business I know. But for us, our who was someone who was a member of a fraternity or sorority that wore custom Greek jackets, or we call them line jackets. Not every organization is really big on those, but specific groups of them are. So those people are still to this day our ideal customer. Third, you want to think about your distribution channels. Where do you plan to sell your product or service? Will it be available online? Or are you going to open up a brick and mortar store? Are you going to be at fairs or events? Are you going to sell wholesale to other people who may sell online or in a brick and mortar store? Are you white labeling your product or service? So these are all questions you want to ask so you can figure out exactly where you're going to sell your product or service. You want to, of course, make sure the place you're selling is where your ideal customer is going to be. So that's your next question. When we initially started Stuff for Greeks, we decided to be online only because we could not and did not want the expense of a physical location. Now, 7 years after we started our business, we did open a physical location. And in between that, we tried out conferences, we tried out events, and eventually settled on the fact that those things weren't for us. But the online store and the physical location or the brick and mortar store has been very good for our business. Number 4, you want to specify when your product or service will be available to the public. So when are you going to launch? I recommend giving yourself a deadline. Because if you're not careful, you can get stuck. And I've met people who will research for years and never actually pull the trigger. So it's really important that you figure out when you want to launch your business. The next question you want to ask yourself is why? What is your why? Why do you want to start this business? What drives you? What's going to drive your team? You want to make sure you have a vision and a mission for your business. Your why could be that you want to have flexibility. I truly wanted to put all of my energy into Stuff for Greeks. I wanted to create these great jackets. I wanted to change that market space. But I also know part of my why, even though at the time I didn't have a family, I knew that I wanted to have the flexibility or the autonomy that entrepreneurship could provide for me. So that to this day is still part of my why of why I pursue growing the businesses that we have. So ask yourself, what is your why behind your business? And the last question is around the how. How is your product or service going to stand out from the competition in the market? Also known as your unique selling proposition. Sure, we want to talk about our unique features. We want to talk about our unique benefits. We also, if it's a service, we may want to talk about our unique approach to how we provide our service. But we want to go a step farther than that. We also want to figure out how our product or service will make people feel. I love commercials for Apple products because even though they may show you the features, they really invoke a feeling around the features. I specifically remember one commercial where a young man it just seems like he's on his phone the entire time on this family trip. And the parents are a little frustrated. You can see them rolling their eyes. But at the end, he shows them this beautiful video of the family embarking on this trip. And it simply evokes such a memorable and loving feeling. So you want to think through, how does your service or product make your customer feel? When it comes to our fraternity and sorority jackets, as well as the custom products we offer in Zeus's Closet, we want people to feel great when they're wearing their branded product, their branded item. We want them to get compliments. We want people to ask them questions. Where did you get that from? That is so unique. We want people to feel a part of whatever logo they're wearing. We want them to feel like a part of that family and very proud of wearing that product. So how does your product or service make people feel? As a Maya Angelou quote states, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is true for your business. This is true for how you make your customers feel. So those are your 6 questions. Take a moment to ask yourself those questions, and you will have a wonderful foundation that can propel your business forward. It gives you a great outline. It gives you a great start to that business plan, and it will help your business be successful long term. Even as you start your business and you move throughout your business, as you begin to think through launching different services or launching into new products, you want to still ask yourself these questions. Thank you for listening today. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, and share the podcast. You can connect with me on Instagram at Become Your Own Boss Podcast or by joining the Become Your Own Boss Facebook group. The link to the Facebook group is in the show notes, and this is a place where we can connect, share ideas, share thoughts, and we can learn more about each other's businesses. Stay tuned for more insights on launching, growing, and scaling your business as we continue the Kickstart Your Business series. Next week, I will talk about what's in a name, determining your business name, and many of the regulatory items you may need to consider as you move towards your business launch. Remember, I'm here to be your biz bestie every step of the way. Until next time, keep dreaming big and working hard. And remember, now is the time. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.